This vintage photograph depicts two harnessed horses, one with a rider. They stand on a sandy beach, surrounded by a hillside or cliff, creating a sense of seclusion. The photo, rendered in sepia tones, features characteristic age-related imperfections that enhance its authenticity. In this intriguing photograph, a fish market in Whitby is depicted. Several people are gathered around a table displaying various fish products. One of the sellers is holding a basket. In the background, water and buildings are visible, indicating a coastal setting. This image captures a moment of daily life, providing historical context to fish trading in that period. This photograph shows several people standing and sitting on a pier, likely fishermen. The water stretches to the horizon and the sky is clear. This moment captures the tranquility and routine of the fishermen's lives, conveying a sense of solidarity and traditional livelihood. This snapshot depicts a house by a river in Whitby, with low water levels showing rocks and dirt. The background shows a row of old-style houses with sloped roofs, as well as little hills or cliffs, indicating a coastal village. The lack of modern items suggests that the photograph is from a bygone era, depicting a tranquil historic scene that reflects Whitby's past and linked to the river. This snapshot portrays a hotel near the sea. Several buildings with old-fashioned architecture are evident. A few ships can be seen in the distance, gently bobbing on the waves, adding to the marine ambience. This photograph captures two people standing on a pier, likely fishermen. The water stretches to the horizon, with clear, cloudless skies above. This image conveys the calm and routine nature of a fisherman's life, reflecting the spirit of solidarity and traditional labor. This photograph shows four people on a beach repairing fishing nets. One stands with his back to the sea, while the other three sit on the ground, working on the nets. In the background, water and a rocky coastline with buildings are visible. This image captures the calm and routine of a fisherman's life. In this old photograph, a woman and a man are depicted by the door of a stone building, possibly a barn. The woman stands outside holding a metal bucket, typically used for milking, and is dressed in clothing that suggests an earlier time period. The man is inside the doorway, leaning against the door, holding a pipe in his hand. This stunning snapshot depicts a quiet bay. Several tiny boats have docked at the pier. In the distance, a lighthouse silhouettes against the bright sky. This picture conveys a sense of calm and serenity. This historical snapshot shows three smiling youngsters sitting close together on what appears to be a wooden platform. The youngster on the left is dressed in a black coat and trousers, the boy in the center in a jacket and a cap, and the boy on the right in a striped sweater and shorts. Their clothing style evokes a previous era. This beautiful photograph depicts a pasture with sheep grazing on a hillside. The background features a rural area, and the sky is covered with clouds, creating a peaceful and timeless atmosphere. This photograph shows a historic riverside. In the foreground, a body of water reflects the surroundings. Old buildings with steep roofs are situated on the right. A small boat with a person aboard floats on the river to the left. In the middle of the river is a flat vessel with figures, one holding a vertical object. At the top of the hill, a castle with towers is visible. The sky is cloudy but bright. This historic photograph depicts a port landscape. Tall ships with masts are docked at the waterfront. And in the background, silhouettes of buildings with spires, possibly a church, suggest a coastal city from past centuries. Reflections on the water add an atmosphere of tranquility and antiquity, capturing the maritime history and architecture of that era. The snapshot shows a rural scene. Several people are working on a farm. One stands by a massive haystack, while a team of horses pulls a wagon loaded with hay. A large round hay barn is nearby, and a little structure with a tiled roof can be seen to the right. Wooden beams embellish the foreground. This intriguing photograph depicts ancient farming operations and rural life. The photograph depicts 5 individuals gathered around an open window in a brick structure. 2 people are sitting inside the window frame looking in, while 3 are standing outside. One man with a cap stands in front of the glass, speaking to those outside. One man rests against the wall as another sits on a pail. The outfit and photograph quality evoke a previous period. This photo depicts the Strom family at Robin Hood's Bay. 4 people are gathered around a tiny boat on the beach, with a cliff visible in the distance. 2 of them are probably doing something inside the boat. One stands at the stern with a paddle or pole, and another stands by the boat, watching. The dress and atmosphere evoke a historical time. This antique sepia-toned image depicts a calm river. In the foreground, a cobblestone street leads to a historic building, the Marina Hotel. The river flows nearby, with a bend visible from the quay. The river is spanned by an arched bridge with silhouettes of buildings and another bridge in the distance. The snapshot depicts a static atmosphere from the past. This snapshot shows a rural environment. In the foreground, a massive quantity of firewood is scattered across the ground. A muddy road winds through the area, stretching into the distance and revealing rows of dwellings with pitched roofs. The architecture recalls an earlier age, and the presence of a horse-drawn wagon on the road adds to the scene's historical significance. This photograph depicts a historical scene. 2 horses hitched to a wooden cart stand in an open field. Next to the horses, a person is kneeling, possibly engaged in some farming activity on the ground. The sky is overcast, and the flat landscape suggests a vast rural area. This black and white photograph shows a pier or breakwater extending into the water, with waves crashing against its sides. At the end of the pier are 2 lighthouses. A group of people stands along the pier, watching the water. The cloudy sky creates a dramatic and somber atmosphere, capturing a historical moment of interaction with the sea in unfavorable weather. This photograph depicts a river with multiple boats, some docked and others moving. The riverbanks are surrounded with trees, with a clear boundary where land has been cleared for a road or path. Buildings can be seen in the distance along both sides of the river, indicating a developed area. The perspective suggests that the photograph was taken from a height, perhaps from a bridge or a high bank. The photo depicts a group of women sitting and standing on stone steps. The women are currently resting and speaking, possibly after participating in an activity. Some are carrying baskets, while others appear to be working with items on the steps. The close indicates that the photograph is historical. This image illustrates a historical scene in which 2 individuals work in a field with horses. One person is guiding a plow drawn by 2 horses, while the other appears to be assisting or supervising the operation. The background depicts a moderate hill with trees, signifying a rural location. This image could be useful for explaining historical agricultural practices, rural living in the past, or horse-drawn farming equipment.